Well, bright and early morning to everybody here. How is all of you treasure hearties out there? Good morning, or good afternoon, wherever, or maybe even perhaps good evening, wherever you are this morning or today watching this broadcast. Yeah, we're in a different spot today. Oops, sorry. I know the light is a little irritating, so let me pull that light out of the frame there. And let me make sure, sorry, I should have actually adjusted this earlier. Let me just make sure, there we go. No, can still see it. Oh well, okay, that's better. And then we'll just adjust this camera, there. Okay, little fine tuning adjustments, but good morning, good morning. This morning is the first Saturday, so we do our normal live. Want to say thank you guys for all joining me this morning. And I was well, kind of getting the project started, but this is what we're up to today. So very simple, very easy, very quick craft, and this is something you can kind of do with your grandchildren, barring that you're not giving them, or if they know how to use one of these, but not a good idea. But you can pre-cut a lot of this out too. So let's see who's here. Good morning, Linda. Thought I should get in early before I forgot again. Okay. Hi, Kim. Hello, Miss Sue. How are you? Glad that you made it this morning. Kim, I really like the quilt you posted. Yes. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out on the Treasure Heart Creations community tab. She did post a Hunter Star quilt, which I thought was a nice touch of white and yellow. Good job there, Kim. Hi, Marilyn. Hope you're doing great as well. Thank you for stopping by. Hey, Miss Sandy, you caught the live. Glad to see you here this morning. Hi, Barbara. That's Barb McKinley. Hello, hello. We got Jackie here. Good morning to you too. Living and Crafting with MS. Hi, Alex. And we got DeLeon Medina. Buenos dias. From Moreno Valley, California. Hello, hello. Let's see, we got people saying, Kim says, I got 2 UFO project sandwich, still need to pin and quilt. Okay. I got about 25 of them that I still need to even sandwich. So, not that we're competing here, Kim. Hi, Mary. Hello, hello. Okay. Hi, Tony. Oh, is it Tony? Oh, yeah, it is Tony. Hi, Tony. Sorry, I thought I need new glasses. My vision keeps changing. Well, it's mostly because of my diabetes, but it keeps changing a lot. And sometimes I misread stuff, especially if the print is really small. An N might look like an R, which might also look like an M. So yeah, I need to get my eyes checked. Okay, the colors are actually 3 shades of purple, an olive green, and chocolate. The purples are dark with lavender in them too. Nice. Hey, Suzanne Taylor. Okay, so what are we up to here? So I got this one started. I was hoping to actually have one like already made, but this is just one segment of it. Okay, so where I come from, for those of you who are pretty new to the channel, you might not know this. I was born and raised in Hawaii, and part of the tradition that we have in Hawaii is that whenever there is a special celebration or a milestone, even if you just want to show your appreciation to someone, one of the things that we do is we present that person with what we call a lei. And if you've never visited Hawaii, oh, this one's coming off. If you ever visited Hawaii and you got like a whole total welcoming package and whatnot, they probably presented you with a flower garland and kind of gave it to you, put it around your neck. And well, that's what a lei is basically. It's a garland made of flowers, and it's just a sign of welcoming somebody, saying congrat, you know, just to kind of make the person feel special in a way. Now, usually leis are made with fresh flowers, like real orchids. Sorry, this thing is irritating me. Okay, fresh flowers of orchids or whatever can lie down flat and has a nice fragrance to it. And so over the years, people, you know, because flowers are expensive and flowers can also don't last, over the years in Hawaii, people have come up with creative ways to actually make a lei without fresh flowers. So one of the things that became very popular is actually making a lei using candies. So that's what I'm kind of doing here. Now, this is one of those crafts where, again, you can do it with your children, you can do it with your grandkids, and especially if you're using candies like this, they see the candy, they don't see the lei, and they will appreciate that more than just a flower garland being draped around their neck. So this is very popular among like kindergarten graduations, or even you know, if they have like a 4th grade or 6th grade graduation. You know, for smaller children, this is what is very popular with them. So it's one of those things where you can kind of greatly modify it to fit the person or the child or whoever the recipient is. And you do see these around like high school graduations or even college graduations as well. What they're filled with is something a little bit more personalized to the person. I've seen people do this with you know, those little sample bottles of alcohol for like a college graduate who is of age. I've seen Gatorade bottles, believe it or not, being put in these things. So yeah, just something fun, something creative, something useful, or just something that can be tailored to the person. So I guess I should explain how to make these, because that's why you guys are here, right? Okay. Mary J says, years ago when we were in Hawaii, we got flower and shell leis. Oh, yep, you can make them out of shells too. Okay, so what do you need for this? Okay, I'm using candy bars. These are like the bite-sized ones. You can do the full bar if you want to. I just wanted to use something small. And can you tell that I love Reese's Pieces? Yep, that is one of my favorite candies. So I bought that, and I also bought these packs here. I love anything cookies and cream. So I bought that. Third one, Kit Kat. Give me a break. Give me a break. Okay. So I'm not gonna do, well, we'll see how far we get along with this, but I'm not gonna do all of it. But you know, you can mix it up. I mean, you don't have to do all one candies. You can mix it up. And people get creative with this. I've seen people actually put like Hot Wheels or some kind of small toy in here instead of a candy. I've seen people just put like quarters in there. They wrap the quarter in the cellophane, so you can get very creative with this. I'm using this cellophane It's a clear cellophane. You can use whatever color you want to, whatever you have. If you don't have cellophane, I've seen it done with tissue paper. I've seen it done with a strong, like gift wrapping paper that doesn't rip so easily. You could even probably do it with a fabric if you had some that matches whatever theme that you're going for. So, you know, be creative with it. What else have I seen? I said tissue paper, that's another common one. People commonly do this with the cellophane because then you can see what's inside of there. And that's usually the main attraction to the gift. But, you know, just anything that you can wrap something with, you can use it. So there's different methods in creating this. So I'm just gonna do the tube method where I cut strips of this cellophane here. Sorry, I know there. I cut strips of it. It's about 5 inches, but don't get caught up in the measurement. You just want something that can wrap around. Like this is a little too big, but you just basically want something that can wrap around whatever it is, whatever the gift is. Okay. And this, one thing about cellophane, it does rip very easily. So, you know, you can kind of manhandle it a little bit, but if it does rip, like I don't know if you can see there, it did kind of tear, but you can use clear tape just to kind of patch it up together, and like you can barely even see it. Like I don't even see it on the camera, so but as all I'm doing is just kind of wrapping it up. Okay. And I already started this one here. I'm gonna basically attach this part of it to the one that I already started. I also got some curling ribbon, and I'm using the curling ribbon to kind of tie up and secure what's inside of there. So, whoops. I'm just going to overlay this piece here. And this is how I actually started the lei. Just basically placed whatever was in, whatever I wanted to put in there, wrap the cellophane around, and just tied the end. In this case, I'm joining these two ends together, but if you're just starting a new lei, this is how you do it. And I'm gonna cinch this down better and place it in here. And now we tie it. And it's just a simple knot. Whoops. Just a simple knot to hold it together. There we go. And now I can unravel this a little bit, and I will push candy up. There we go. And that's it. And I will take another ribbon. This is just curling ribbon. Just cut it to about anywhere from 12 to 15 inches. And we'll cinch it down here. Oops. And we tie it down just with the simple knot again. That's basically it. And just curl the ribbon. Now, if you don't want to use curling ribbon, you can use whatever you want to tie it together. I used to do, when I was a little kid, I used to use pipe cleaners and cut that down into smaller size twist ties size kind of thing. But I wanted something a little bit more decorative, so I'm using curling ribbon, which I was surprised to find. And we're gonna just wrap it up in there. And I will cut another piece of ribbon here. Simple as that. Now if it pops up open, or if you're afraid that whatever you put in there is not secure, just again, just a little piece of tape, put it down, there you go. A good one for quilter would be one made with charm packs. Okay, yeah, you could do that. That would be a good one, to use up a charm pack that you don't know what to do with. Or maybe your scrap fabric. Okay. Let's see. One of my friends actually, you know, this is her go time, where she is a crafty person, and right around May she would like set up her whole home to just be like a factory, setting up all of these things and making some of these candy leis. She also does leis made out of ribbon, and she goes to various graduations and she will sell them, and she makes quite a bit of money off of it actually, but it just takes time to make all of these because it's made by hand. And she doesn't well, frankly, people do appreciate the level of craftsmanship, because she does, like, this candy lei would probably go for like $25 to $30, the ones that she sells, and people do appreciate that. They will pay for that. Speaking of which, you know, yesterday when I bought these candies, I could not believe the price of these things, because, well, I bought these ones, luckily for me, these ones are my favorites. These candies are my favorites, I should say. Whoops, okay, pulled it too hard, but that's okay. But I was kind of shocked, like, just for some of the packs, sorry, I can't craft and talk at the same time. I can sew and talk at the same time, but not craft and talk at the same time for some odd reason. What was I saying? The price of these candies are getting just ridiculously high. I was lucky to have these on sale at my local Walmart, but oh my gosh, this pack of 10 was on sale for $3.99. Normal price, 8 something. I think it was like $8.99, and I'm like, wow, when did candies, and these are the bite-sized ones, they're not even the full bars. I'm like, when did candies become so expensive? Okay, so how do you plan to spend your Mother's Day? Mother's Day is coming up next weekend. Kim Burris says, I will be either sewing or doing hand embroidery. Probably be out gallivanting around town or traveling. Okay, I will cut one more out here. Probably be out gallivanting around or traveling. Turn off this. Walmart is ripping people off big time with the new pricing. Yeah, well, Walmart is still quite cheaper than a lot of other places, I've noticed, on certain merchandises. Well, locally here, groceries, I think they're not the best quality, but they're the cheapest price. But yeah, I was just shocked to see how expensive candies have gotten. I remember the days where we could go to the drugstore and buy a whole bag of candies for like $1, and like it was $1 a pound. Don't find that anymore. Okay, how big is this one? Sorry. Okay, I think I might want to just add one. Okay, so we're almost there. For an adult size or for like a teenager, kind of a grown person, a good size or a good length of the lei is about 40 to 42 inches. You can go up to 45. Of course, you can customize the size according to the height of the person. For like a small child, probably like about a good 24 or maybe even smaller. Just again, just customizing it to the to the height of the person. This is about 30. This is 34. So I'm gonna just do a few more. Okay. So what you saw me do was I cut strips of the cellophane and wrapped it. What you can also do is you can cut individual squares of the cellophane and wrap each individual candy like that. Sometimes it does look better because you don't have as much bulk, or you're kind of wrapping it a little bit more secure. Sometimes I will do that, especially if it's on like a heavier object. But these candies are pretty light, and basically it's the same thing. You're just gonna attach it on, and I will attach another red ribbon. Wrap the candy up, attach it on, and if I didn't curl the last red ribbon, I would just use that to secure this one on. But since I curled it, I'm just going to attach another one. In the grander scheme of things, it's not going to be as noticeable. There you go. And I can trim that part down. And I can curl this ribbon. And I will use purple again. And notice I'm not even measuring it. I'm just kind of eyeballing the measurement and cutting it. And just do a simple knot there. So in the grander scheme of things, you don't even know that this was kind of a separate piece from all the rest. Linda Fugate says, my son got my daughter-in-law and me a prepaid tee somewhere on the strip for Mother's Day. Ooh, that's awesome. Hello, Michelle DeCoulter. She says, we'll go out with our daughters and son-in-law a week after Mother's Day for food and ice cream. Ah, can I come? I think my brothers, do I have another one cut? Nope, the rest are all tubes. Okay, so I'm gonna just use this one. And I'm just gonna cut a piece just to complete this one here. And we'll just wrap it up. Oh, I shouldn't have curled the last one. Darn it. That's okay. For this, I cut it a little short, so I am gonna tape it down. And I'll twist it. And even though I curled this one, I'm just gonna tie it on here anyway. And it should be fine. This is a little short, but I can make do with it. And I will cut this and we tie it down. Now, I think I might want to add one more, so I'm not gonna, ooh, that's a little tight, but I can make do with that. So I'm not going to curl this one just yet. Take that same cellophane, put it there. Take one more candy. I can twist it. That might be easier for some people. Tie this down. And we'll tie this end down as well. Oh, I forgot. Whoa. Okay, I didn't watch what I was tying. So, just a reminder, later on today, we are having our regular Zoom call, in which a lot of you are participating in on, that are here. So, just a reminder, if you still want in on that Zoom, you can still it doesn't start till 12 12 noon Pacific Standard Time, so you still got time. You can send me an email to be part of that Zoom, and we always have fun on there. Okay, so now, as you will see here, yep, that's long enough. So now I will take these two ends, and this is where I didn't curl that last purple one. I will take the two ends, overlap them together, and we'll just tie it down. And I'm going to triple this one. And there you have it. Now the fun part for, especially if you got, again, kids, I mean, the fun part for them is to just kind of rip open the lei and start eating the candy or whatever, or start playing with whatever's inside of there. So there you go, one of them complete. Okay, now the fun part for me is to actually embellish this, but there's not much, I mean, that you can do to embellish it. I could use like a larger wire ribbon and make a bigger bow wherever that connection is, just to kind of secure it. In fact, let's try it. I'm just using this ribbon because it's here. Not that it really matches the theme of whatever I'm going for. 3. Okay, and then I will take, is it this one? Yeah, I think it's here. I'm just gonna cut another, let's see how this looks. If it doesn't work, then I can always use this for something else. Or, I mean, this is Dollar Tree ribbon, so it's not like it was an arm and a leg. Again, you don't have to do this part of it. It's just something extra. I mean, this by itself is fine, but whatever you want to embellish it with. Should work out great. Okay. On a traditional lei, you do have like a bigger bowl that kind of hides where the two ends meet. Let's see how this looks. Well, not bad for a makeshift bow. Let me just try and tease it for a moment. Not bad. Sort of. You need to kind of open it up. Normally I wouldn't use a ribbon, a wired ribbon for this, but it was here, so there we go. And it's going to get smashed down anyway. That looks better. And I can cut the tail. Let's have a look. What do you guys think? Hi, Gladys. And the best part is I got extra candies. These are for me. I shouldn't be eating them because of my blood sugar, but you know what? I can't resist these. I thought it was going to take all 20 of them to make a full lei, but no. Okay, how long did that take us? Not long at all. So, let's make another one using the Hershey's. Gosh, you're purty. Oh, thank you, Miss Kim. Purty. Purdy. Okay. So I'll dump all the candies out, and you know what? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll make a small one this time so you can kind of see. Okay, I'll take this one off for a second because I know it's hitting the microphone and it's probably irritating some of you. So again, just to show you how I started, I'll take our Hershey's. This time I'm just going to use, I won't alternate it this time, I'm just going to use the purple. Using the tube, and I'm going to just tie it right there, and it came around. Sometimes that first one, once you get the first one done, the rest will be easier, but if the cellophane comes unraveled, just grab some clear tape and tape it down, and there we go. Got it. And I will cinch it down. Okay, so I'm not going to curl that one because I'm going to use that when we join it back together. And I'm just going to use up the rest of these recess bars because I'm probably going to rip it open anyway afterwards, but you know, put an obstacle in the way so I don't eat it all by myself right away, because I will. Oh, where is it? tie this one down. Okay. So something simple, something quick, something easy, but yet something kind of effective. And you don't have to use candies. You can use whatever you want to wrap up in there. Since Mother's Day is coming up, you know, you could even give this as a gift from Mom. We'll go with the Hershey's. Oh, I should tie it before. That's what I didn't do. And again, you don't have to do this. I just do the tube, or just kind of use this cutting strips of the cellophane. You can cut individual squares if it's easier. And basically it's the same thing where you're tying the two ends and then you join the two ends together. I just like doing it this way because it's less cutting and preparation. Good morning, Miss Gayla. Sage Gardens and Studio Art. Welcome, welcome. She's saying she's a newbie here. Well, welcome to the channel. Okay, and I did say I was going to make it short, but not this short, so I'm going to add another segment to this one. Oh, popped open. Let me pull that. Okay. There we go. I'm not curling that one because I'm going to attach another piece to it. I'll use that for after. Da, 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 da. So I will wrap this one in there, and I can twist this end off. That'll help to actually tie it in there, and we tie it down. Oh, where is it? There it is. Sometimes I get lost in trying to find where the two ends are. Okay, there it goes. Now I can curl this one. And we can tie off the other end. You know what, I'm just gonna, where is that? My goodness. One thing about this ribbon, the end, once you cut it, it tends to disappear. Where is it now? Okay, there it is. A little bonus tip. Sometimes if I'm working with ribbon like this, the end kind of wraps itself back onto the spool. I will thread it down the center, pull it out on the other end like this and just set it down so that I can always find it. And if I want to, I don't know why I didn't do this before, if I want to pull more and cut, I can just hold it like that and cut it off. And then I still have that little tail at the bottom. Just a little tip. Especially with curling ribbon, it tends to wrap itself around back onto the spool once you cut it, and you can never find where that end went. Okay. This one's a little long, but I can work with it. Hello, Ruth and Richard. Oh, that's Sage Garden and Art Studio. Well, welcome, welcome. Okay. Okay. I forgot to ask, what is everybody working on this morning? Or are you guys just watching me? I thought about redeeming myself with the book cover this morning, but then I said, no, I gotta make this too. So I will do the book cover. I've made a few of them after that last April disastrous live. And kind of did my homework on it. So next time I do a live project using that book cover or making another book cover, I'll be a little bit more prepared for it. Apparently though, it sort of seems like a lot of other creators kind of made book covers as well about the same time, so maybe they're trying to upscale me. I just got the quote. Let's see, wait. Okay, well, I'm making a house block that I was going to sew in live. Okay, that's Barbara. Tony says, finishing quilty chicks for my friend's birthday in June. Oh. And Ruth and Richard said, just got done by making quilted May baskets. Okay. Quilted baskets. Oh, okay, that wasn't a good idea. I can always tie this one on. Pulled a little too extra hard. Not a problem. I should move this. Sorry. I had that little small purple cutting mat just to remind myself that I need to be aware of where the camera is pointed at. So now I can kind of remove it. Okay. Hershey's. Da, 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 da. Okay, so for those of you who caught I just uploaded that earlier this morning. That was kind of a mistake. It was supposed to be up yesterday, but kind of made a mistake and as to when the timing of it was. I was trying to schedule a video to go on live here on the YouTube channel as of 10 a.m. yesterday. Instead, I put it as 10 p.m., which I didn't check that. So, but it is now up and running. It's the May video newsletter where I was kind of mentioning all the things that were going to happen this month that I'm planning to do. And why did I tie that? Or why did I curl that? Because I was supposed to tie another piece onto there, but that's okay. And if you saw it, you saw the butterfly habitat, which I was so excited to actually visit for the first time. And there's about 100 butterflies. I'm not sure, I don't know offhand what species of butterflies they were, but there was a lot of this one particular butterfly that was a zebra, kind of zebra print. It was black and yellow, I want to say. You'll see it in the video, but it was interesting to see that particular butterfly. And when I kind of filmed the butterfly in slow motion, in which as it was fluttering its wings, it kind of looked really cool on the video. So check it out if you haven't seen it, and if you have, thank you. But it was a very interesting experience to have butterflies just flying all around you, and the colors of these butterflies. There was one monarch butterfly that I did saw, and that's the only butterfly that I kind of recognized. I don't know what the other butterflies or what species the other butterflies were. There was a beautiful, beautiful orange butterfly that was, or a group of orange butterflies that were just flying all over the place. And I couldn't turn on the sound when we're in the habitat because there were a lot of kids there too, and they were kind of freaking out that the butterfly landed on them. So one kid was just screaming to high heaven about it, but you know, I didn't let it bother me. Parents were, people were kind of understanding that this is a museum, it's going to attract kids. So, you know, a lot of us were just kind of being patient about that. But if you're in the Las Vegas area, I'm not sure, I think they are closed during May or mid-May. But if you do come back around September, October, and you're in the Las Vegas area, go and check that out because it is quite an experience, I will say. And I ended up purchasing an annual membership to the museum that sponsors that exhibit, so I do plan on going back again when it reopens later on this year. But then I was also looking at what other events that museum has going on, and it's quite interesting. Today they're actually, well, if I knew better, no, not that, I shouldn't say if I knew better. If I knew ahead of time, I would have kind of rearranged my schedule, because today they're actually having a Hawaii event, or Hawaiian themed event, in which I would have probably gone to. May is in Hawaii, May 1st. They call it May Day. May Day is Lay Day, so that's the other reason why leis like this start showing up around this time of the year. But it's a time of celebration of the different cultures that exist or kind of melted together in Hawaii. So when I was in grade school, we would put on like a whole production celebrating all the Asian cultures and Asian Pacific cultures that are in Hawaii. And it was all about food, it was all about dance and just sharing. So every year when we were in grade school, we'd have to learn a new dance. And of course, it would be like this whole event where the parents come in and watch us perform. One year we went country and we did a dance to Cotton Eye Joe. And that was the last time we ever saw a country number. It was kind of a nod to the Hawaiian cowboy. Yes, there are cowboys in Hawaii. We call them paniolos. Yeah, so this will be a good size for a little child, so I'm going to actually end it here. And I'm just going to tie the two ends together. And this one, I will not put a bow on it. I might embellish it with other things. I'll experiment around with it. And then the final product will be posted somewhere. So, but yeah, going back to our May Day celebrations. May 1st, it's always May 1st, or if the school has like some special scheduling, they'll put this May Day program, as we called it, on maybe like a Friday. So, okay, so there we go. Here's a smaller length one. I could fit this around. It'll be like a choker to me. But this is a good size. This was 24 inches, I believe. A good size for like a kindergartner or so. Then of course you got the adult size one, right? This was, I think, about 40 to 42 inches. And I'm gonna wear this all day. So, but this is gonna irritate me too. So I won't do that. Maybe I will, who knows? Okay. Okay, so I saw the chat kind of scrolling, so let me go back a little bit. Let's see. Our children have worked and flowers and cookies and shipped them to my neighbor. Okay. A little video of them, you can check it out if you want. Okay, thank you, thank you. Transferring scraps into empty plastic gallon ice cream containers. Eating all the ice cream was a challenge, but I made it through. Oh, Linda, I am jealous of you right now. What flavor? Hi, Mozilla. Hello, Donna. Let's see. Oh, Linda says she's going to the butterfly habitat on Monday. Well, enjoy it. Enjoy it. It'll probably be less crowded, I would imagine, because it's a weekday. I love the zebra butterfly. That's Donna. Okay, I saw that. I may have missed it, but what are you making the candy leaves for? This is just for demonstration purposes. Not really for anything specific. Again, in Hawaii, it's a tradition to actually make a lei because, well, this is graduation season, as all the high schools are now starting to host their graduations. The colleges are starting to host their graduations. Even the grade school kids now, and even the middle school kids have graduation ceremonies. So this is something that in Hawaii, instead of presenting the graduate with a flower lei, this is a good substitute for it. Because flower leis can get, I mean, you're talking about maybe spending $60 to over $100 for one flower lei. Yeah, so it gets pretty expensive, and they don't last too. At least this, a lei like this, they get something out of it, something tasty out of it. So, hi Linda, that's Linda's Trendy Threads. Those butterflies were amazing. Oh, thank you, Kim. Okay. Terry Henderson, hello, hello. We have made Hershey's Christmas tree garland using small pieces of foil and yarn. It was my go-to present with newly out of the house and generally broke. Okay. I think chocolates was cheaper by the unit. Yeah, definitely cheaper, I would say. Again, I was shocked that some of these packages, I mean, there's only 10 pieces and they're the bite-sized pieces. I mean, $8 for this? Come on. Back in the day, growing up, I mean, we could buy a whole pound of candy for $1 a pound. So, geez, talk about inflation. Why can't the economy go into deflation? Hi, Terry Anderson. Okay, May baskets are in Old May Day celebration. Oh, May baskets are in Old May Day celebration. Okay, did not know that. Was excited to find your live that I just joined the binding backwards. Okay. Well, glad you got excited, but sad to see that you joined your binding backwards. It was vanilla frozen yogurt. Oh. Linda, if you ever need help getting rid of that, I will, even though I should not be doing it, I will run a whole marathon just to enjoy a scoop of ice cream. So you know who to call next time. Gayla Walter says, here we have a butterfly museum also. They are housed in an atrium with a koi pond. The outdoor area has a walking path with native plants and flowers for a local Colorado area. Ooh. Gayla, is that year-round? Because I know, well, especially like here in Vegas, the butterflies wouldn't survive the summers here. So I know they, like the natural butterflies kind of, I think, travel to other areas, but which would make sense why the museum doesn't have it during the summer. And they also don't have it during the winter either. That's interesting. Does Denver still have the botanical garden? Oh, she's asking Gayla. Okay, so a little housekeeping notes before we go. And I think some of you might want to perk up your ears for this one, because YouTube, there is a channel on YouTube. It's called the Creator Insider, or Insider Creator. I think it's Creator Insider. Anyway, this is a channel that YouTube themselves, the staff at YouTube, this is where they make the content. It's really designed for content creators like myself. And what they're doing is, this is where they give what kind of updates YouTube is doing. And yesterday I was actually watching a video that they just recently put out, and it's about the notifications. Okay, they call it push notifications. If you're not familiar with what a push notification is, on your cell phone, on your tablet, wherever you receive the notifications from YouTube, every time it like dings or makes that bell or alarm sound, that's what a push notification is. And what the YouTube staff, what they've been doing is they've been researching if those push notifications are being effective and how effective. The whole point of what the YouTube staff is trying to do is they're trying to keep people interested in the platform so that you don't go elsewhere, like to Netflix or Amazon, and start watching movies there. And from what they explained, when people, like take myself for example, on my personal YouTube account, I subscribe to about, last time I counted, it was over 450 different channels. Most of them not quilting related. But you know, there comes a point in time where if you start subscribing and then you start receiving, or you click the bell for notifications for when, you know, these creators upload the videos, you start just ignoring them because they start going off like every 5 minutes. And so YouTube took note of that, and what they've done is, in their research, they found out that a lot of people will subscribe to a channel and they will, you know, they will get the notification of when like somebody goes on live or for when there's a new video. But what they also noticed is that even though they sent the notification out, that person doesn't click on the alert and doesn't go and watch the video, especially if they got hundreds of people that they're subscribed to. So in that particular video, what the person was saying is YouTube is now starting to pay attention to that push notification. So in other words, if you get notified that somebody has a new video up and you don't click on that notification or you don't click on that alert, they didn't say how many, or they didn't give like a specific number, but if you start ignoring it, then they won't stop sending you notifications or those push notifications for that channel. So say for example, and again, they didn't mention any numbers or how many times you ignore it or something, but they've already implemented this policy where, say for example, there was a channel that I was following. It was actually an outdoor adventure kind of channel where the person goes hiking to various parts of the West Coast. And I still watch that channel, but when the videos get uploaded, I'm usually at work, so I can't, you know, I see the notification, but I just ignore it and don't watch the video right away. And then I started noticing that even though I know this person's upload schedule, they do it every Saturday or every Friday night, I started ignoring it, and I noticed that I was not getting the notification anymore. So this video from YouTube kind of explains why. So the reason I bring this up is because you know, a lot of people do complain that they don't get the notifications when I'm on live or when anybody else is on live, but they know the person's regular schedule, which is helpful. But if in case, you know, you don't get notified, or you're not receiving the alert on your cell phone or on your tablet or wherever you're getting those alerts from, this is probably why. It's YouTube kind of making changes to how their system is working. So again, if it's a creator that you really do want to support and you want to follow them, you know, when you get that notification, make sure that you are clicking on it. You might not be able to stay and chat if it's alive, or you might not be able to comment on it, but if you notice that you're not getting the notifications, well, kind of reflect on how your behavior is with that. And one thing I should also mention, and they mentioned this in the video, they are monitoring your behavior. So if you're not engaged with that creator, meaning you're not pushing like on that video, you're not putting comments in, or maybe you are pushing the thumbs up on the video. They're measuring how engaged you are with that channel. So just watching the video is well, I mean, it's a positive step, but you know, if you really do want to support that creator, make sure you do put a thumbs up on there, and put a comment in there. I see a lot of people that don't want to, or don't have like a specific comment for me. They don't have like any kind of question. They just say hi, which is fine, just to show that they are engaged with the content, and such. So yeah, just want to kind of pass that information on to you, because again, YouTube is giving us as creators that information, but then that also affects how you guys out there, who are the viewers watching all of us, you know, it affects you as well. So yeah. Well, that's not a great plan. I watch on my TV but get notifications on phone. I don't click the video on my phone. They're looking at it from the perspective of, like, you might get a notification on your phone but you're watching on the TV. That's fine, because you're still showing like engagement, and they can track if you are watching the video or not. So as long as you engage in some way, I think you're okay. But if you get the notification and you don't even watch the video, that's who they're targeting. Because again, what they've been finding out is when people subscribe to like 10 billion channels, you know, it gets overwhelming, and then you just start, you kind of start narrowing down who you're really following, and that's what they're really trying to target. So yeah. If you are interested in actually just watching that video, the channel is called Creator Insider, I believe. If I was asking them if I can link up to the video, and I never got a clear answer, so I just said, okay, forget it, because I don't want to get into legal trouble with YouTube, because I was already in trouble with them when I complained about how many commercials they put on to these lives. So, but yeah. And again, if you have questions, when I get the information, you know, you can always send me an email, or you can put a comment on this video and ask those questions. I'll try my best to answer them. But yeah, it's just kind of coming out, and it's just, well, YouTube has probably been activating or doing it already, but they just formally announced it. So yeah. I've been giving notifications on stuff I've never watched. No clue why. Okay. Oh dear, I thought you were scheduled for 2 p.m. my time. Oh, no worries, Chris. No worries, no worries. Okay, one last housekeeping note, and I'm glad that this person is here, because we also need to announce the winner of this. Now, before I announce who this person is, let me just kind of explain how I chose this person, because you might want to accuse me of favoritism, but I did it blindly. And I actually consulted someone who is a non-quilter, saying, is this really the funniest comment, or is this really the best comment? And they kind of said, well, it's kind of up to you, but they liked the comment as well. So there were a lot of great comments, just in general, about how people, or what people did with their scraps, how they organized their scraps, projects that they do it with. Got a lot of great suggestions about what to do with strings, what to do with crumbs, what to do with just 2.5-inch squares, 2.5-inch strips. I mean, it was a hodgepodge of different suggestions. But what caught my eye, And what I did was I just took all the comments, downloaded this into like a spreadsheet, but I did not include the person's name or the name of their YouTube account. So I was kind of doing it blindly. This one particular person made a joke about how their scraps were not Mount Scrapmore. They kind of made a whole mountain range on it. And I thought that was so funny. And even when I told it to my non-quilting friend, she was like, Mount Scrapmore? She's a crafter, so she knows what about scraps, but she's not a quilter. And she was like, Mount Scrapmore? That sounds interesting, but this mountain range sounds even more interesting. So that person is none other than Miss Kim Burris. So congratulations, Kim. This is on its way to you. Okay. But I want to thank everybody who participated in this. Again, there were some great comments on there. But Kim, you are the winner. Congratulations. All right, everybody. That is all I have for this live. I will be on live, or at least I'm planning on being live on Tuesday, but we shall see. It's been a hectic work week because we opened up a new location. Yeah, so that's always that was fun. And now everybody's saying thank you. Congratulations to Kim. All right, guys, so just a reminder, there is a Zoom call coming up in about 30 minutes or so. If you want in on it, you still got time. Just send me an email. I will be checking my email constantly because I need to send out some emails as well. But now just check your emails and I can send you that information, or send me an email, I can send you that information. And we always have fun on Zoom, so. All right, guys, that is it for this live session. Again, we shall see you hopefully on Tuesday, barring that nothing disastrous happens at work. But until then, guys, let's all get out there. Let's all create something. So, bye for now.